So, hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me again here at The Good Life with Steve. And yeah, I'm Steve. Who else would be here, right? It's morning in the DR, and it's second cup of coffee time. And I'll share this one with you while I also share with you how I trade at night. So I'm going to start this series, and I don't, depending on how you guys respond, that'll determine how long we continue to do it. I shared a little bit about how I trade. There seemed to be some interest, so I want to go ahead and yeah, just not ignore what you guys are requesting. Some of you are requesting how to do it, and so if you are trading right now, or if you are thinking you might like to learn a little bit about it, maybe this is where you can do that. There's no pressure or anything like that. I'm not here to make money on you when you trade. I don't none of that. I want my own money, not yours, right? So what I'm going to do is share with you how to get started. And then on a weekly basis, I will probably toward the end of the week, I will release a video. Well, it'll have to be toward the end of the week or the beginning of the next week. I will share with you how my week went. We'll do sort of a weekend review so that you can see whether or not this thing works. Now, I did share a video with you guys maybe, I don't know, a couple of months ago, 6, 8 weeks ago. And I called that video, if you haven't seen it yet, my retired expat side hustle, something like that. Retired expat side hustle, I think is what it's called. And in that video, I share with you how I make these trades. But for some of you, even still, that's foreign, that's Greek to you. So today I want to just talk to you about how to get set up, how to get started, and then how to create a chart so that you can begin to do this and play around with it. Now, let me tell you this. You don't need a lot of money to do this. As a matter of fact, you can practice forever and a day for free. My mic a little bit low? I'm going to turn it up a little bit here because it's not really peaking where I like for it to be. But if it's too loud for you, you can just turn down the volume. My apologies. But I'll try to get that right. You can learn for free. And I would suggest that you do that. You don't need to spend any money doing this. I'm going to show you where I trade. And you can go there and set up a free account. And you can practice until you're blue in the face. So yeah, you don't have to spend a lot of money in setting this up. Now, where do I trade? Let me just share that with you guys because this is where it all starts. I'm going to share my screen with you. We'll slide this over. Here we go. So I'm over here on what's called a site called Ninja Trader. Okay. It's one I was introduced to years ago. I was trying to figure out how to trade, and I was doing it with a company called Apex. And yeah, none of that worked. But they were referencing this website or this platform called Ninja Trader. And looking at it, I thought, well, that's the actual, that's the trading platform. What they're showing me is an overlay, and they're wanting to charge for it. So I got rid of that, started looking at this, but then I didn't have time because like most people, I was too busy trying to make a living. I didn't have any time to make money. You know what I mean? So you'll go over here and you'll just get registered and you'll just set up a free account. Now they're going to ask you some questions, just like a bank would, because this is a financial thing, right? And so they have to comply with certain federal guidelines when it comes to KYC or know your customer. And then there's something else has to do with, I don't know, drugs and guns and all of that crap, So there's all of that stuff going on. So they have to get you through all of that. It's similar to setting up a bank account. They're going to ask you where your money comes from and that kind of stuff. Don't tell them you robbed the bank, even if you did, right? So that's what they're going to ask you over there. So you go over there, you set up an account, and then what they've done, they've created they created a new look for the platform. I don't like the new look. I choose the legacy, and that's what I'm going to be showing you here. And so you can choose either the new look or the legacy, but I choose not to use the new look. The legacy platform is where I learned, and it's I'm comfortable with it. And you know how it is with us old geezers, right? We don't want anything to change. We want everything to go back to 1912, right? No, not that far back. But you know what I mean. We like to keep things the same because we're used to it, and I'm used to the legacy platform. So what does a legacy platform look like? Yeah, I can go ahead and show you that now, and then I want to show you some other things, because when you set up your account, when you set up to start trading, it's going to look like this. This is what it's going to look like. And this is the actual market this morning. If you could see the numbers down at the bottom, you'll see it is currently 9:55 a.m. In the morning that I'm trading. Actually 9:58. But these vertical lines, each one of these vertical lines is 5 minutes, or represents 5 minutes. And each candle, red or green, represents 2 minutes or a single minute. Now, the platform that I am trading here allows me to trade multiple instruments at different time frames. And what does that mean? If you look up to the upper right, once you get your account set up, you'll be able to do this, and then you can come back and watch this once you get your account set up, and then you can access the platform. But this is live right now, but we're not going to trade here on the live. I'm going to show you on the live platform. I'm going to show you where you can go to practice for any time period that you want, and that'll make more sense as we go along. So this is what's called the NASDAQ Micro. That's what I'm trading. And so if you go over here to the upper right, you'll see over here it says MNQ03 to 26. So that's the NASDAQ Micro. And it is good. The time period right now that we're trading is up till March the 26th. And this renews every 3 months. Okay. So when once you're on the platform, they'll remind you and ask you if you want to renew. You'll just click yes, and it'll just renew and refresh everything, and then you just keep going. All right. Now I'm trading 1 minute candles. So every candle that you see here, red or green, represents 1 minute. And as you see over here, it's moving along. And when the next minute clicks, you'll get another candle, red or green, depending on whether it goes up or down. But a lot of people want to trade, longer time frames. So you see, I'm trading 1 minute. You got 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 30, and 60-minute or 1 hour. A lot of people trade 5 minutes. So if I click on 5 minutes, now you're going to get it's going to look different because every candle represents 5 minutes in time. But I don't trade that. I trade 1 minute. So we'll go back to 1 minute. Now, all these other tools up here, we'll talk about those. I think I'd rather talk about those once I show you how to get to where you will practice, because that's very, very important. Because if you can't practice, if you don't know where to go to practice, you don't want to practice with live money. Okay, I mean that would be insane. So when you set up and you get your account opened up, you're going to get something that looks like this. Okay, and what this is it allows you to select whether you want to trade live, or if you want to trade in simulation mode, trade the live market, but use it's not real money, or if you want to go back and you want to practice. And I suggest you do that to start. So how do you do that? Well, you have to first be live, and when you go live, let's see, I'm going to click on live here, and on connections, you'll click on live, and you see we have live. I'm in simulated mode now. We also have playback. Right? We want to create a playback opportunity so that we can play back any previous day, so that we can, figure out what we did wrong, what we did right, how we would do that going forward, that kind of thing. Right? So we have to first disconnect from simulation and be in live only. Once you're in live mode, you'll go over here to where it says tools. On tools, you'll scroll down, and we want to go to import. And what do we want to import? Well, we want to import historical data. And so if I go over here, there we go, get up, there we go, historical data. So we're importing historical data, which is data from previous days. And I'll slide this over, and when you do that, you'll get one of these things. Now, what is that? This is just a window that allows us to select what it is we want to trade. So we're going to go all the way down here to the bottom. You see where it's down here where it says get market data? You see that? Or get market replay data. We'll click on that, and we'll get a drop down again, and it says instrument. Now what we trade are instruments here on these things. I mean, you can trade the S&P. That's one instrument. You can trade that's Standard & Poor's. You can trade the Dow. You can trade the Russell. Whatever you want. You can trade gold. I mean, whatever it is you want to trade. But what I trade is the NASDAQ Micro. So we're going to go here, and we're going to select the NASDAQ Micro again, 03 to 26 to 26, because that's the time period that we are in. Again, it will update for you as time goes on. So around the 24th or 25th of March, it'll update, and I'll just go until I think July or June or something like that. Anywho, when we get there, you'll see we'll get a date here. It says 020226. Today is the 3rd, I believe. Yeah, today's the 3rd, so it's going on yesterday. And what you'll do, if you want to download yesterday, just click on that. And you see here where it says download, just click on that. Give it a few minutes, and it will eventually complete, because it is downloading all the data from yesterday. So if you want to go back and replay yesterday, well, here you go. Okay, so it's done now. Once that is done, you can click the red box and close that out. You'll go back up here to connections, and you will disconnect from live. And then you will reconnect on playback. And the screen should change. Once we get this, it's going to look, it looks just like what we looked at before, but we're going to treat it slightly different. Here's how. We're still going to select the instrument, and you can see we have ES, that's Standard & Poor's, and all these other instruments down here, but I only trade MNQ, and that's that. That's the micro. I'm going to tell you what micro is in just a moment. Okay, we're going to still stay with 0226, and we'll go over here. We won't select download. We want to go to continue, and we'll continue. Okay, now you see the screen just changed. Why? Because this is last night. This is yesterday, actually. Okay, now again, we are trading up here. Let's see, what's it going to give us? It's going to give us $100,000 to play with. You see that up there? Okay, that's fake money. It's not real. Okay, we're in playback, and you can do this until your heart's content, and you can trade. You can download any, like when I would say download like 90 days to learn and get started. You don't have to rush into this thing. Like I said before, it's not a competition. It's not a race. There's no finish line. Okay, it goes on forever, right? So don't get the greedy bug, because that's how people lose money, right? There's an old saying that goes something like this: pigs get fed, hogs get slaughtered. People are losing money left and right because they're trying to get rich quick. I'm going to show you what the money's like, and we're going to talk about it here, but going forward, we're not going to talk money anymore. We're going to talk process, because if you get the process right, you'll get the money right. All right. So whenever you open up playback, it's going to look just like the real thing. But as you can see, nothing's happening over here. There's no price action. You're going to get this little window here also. And in this little window, it's going to give you a date. And it's going back to January 26, 2026. But we don't want to trade that. We want to trade the 2nd. Remember, that's what we just downloaded. February 2nd. So we'll go to February. We'll choose the 2nd, right? So right now it's running February 2nd to February 3rd. We will hit enter, and then it'll adjust, and it'll take us to the 2nd. At 1 a.m. Now, like I said, you can choose whichever time frame that you want to practice trading. Day trading is not like night trading, okay? Day trading, I don't choose day trading because the volatility is just too enormous. And I don't use a lot of money to trade. I have a small account, and my intention is just to grow it and grow it and grow it, not to just throw tens of thousands of dollars at this thing because that's what they tell me I need. You don't need to do that. What you'll want to do, or what you want to do, is trade the time period that you are going to, or practice the time period that you are going to trade. Like I said, I trade at night. So as you see here, this is at 1 a.m. There's a slider here that you can move to practice, or move to the time that you want to trade. So I'm going to move this to what for me is 7 p.m. Now, if you're in the States, you'll move this to 6 p.m. if you are Eastern Standard Time, right? So we'll go right there. Well, now I got to go to 7 o'clock. There we go. 7:01:20. That's good enough. It'll change. There we go. So now, give this time to catch up. Give the data time. There we go. All right. So we'll move this over here. Okay. We'll get this out of the way, and we're going to cover up the instrument and the time. The instrument, again, is the NASDAQ micro, and the time period is 1 minute candle bars, right? I'll move that up there. And we have some other stuff up here, and we're going to get to these things in just a second, all right? So we are at 7 o'clock. I'm going to move this over. I can just click on it and slide it over, Okay. And I'm going to put a green line here. Some of you have seen this before, but I'm just wanting to make sure that everybody gets caught up and we're all on the same page as we go forward. Okay. Now, I put that green line there because the way I trade is so simple. It's actually silly. I mean, it really is. I had all these indicators that I was trying to use to figure out how to do this, that, and the third. All of that wasn't even necessary. It wasn't necessary. If you can count to three, really, if you can count to three, you can make this work. Trust me, I know that sounds silly, but if you can count to three, you can make this work. So I put this line here because I don't want to start counting candles before the market opens. The market closes at 5 o'clock. It shuts down for an hour and then it reopens at 6. But since I'm down here in the DR, we don't change our clocks the way they do back in the States. So for you guys, 6 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock, when for me it is 7 o'clock because you fall back 1 hour. And then in a couple months, you're going to speed up 1 hour and you just keep going back and forth. Why they do such silly things up there, I don't know, but that's what they do. All right. Now, when you look at this thing, there's nothing that tells you as you look at it, what to do. I mean, it just looks like a bunch of red and green candles, right? Well, let me give you something that might help you along the way or that will explain what it is we're going to be doing. Okay. This thing, I'm going to slide it over here, put it on top of the screen for a minute. I can move this slider out of the way. I'll move it down here, get it down here, and I'm going to open this up. There you go. This is what I call a momentum trade. Okay. What we're doing is looking for the market to move in a certain direction and to give us an indication as to when we can enter the market for an opportunity to make a trade and make some money. That's all we're doing. And it's actually the easiest trade you're ever going to make. Again, if you can count to three, you can make this work. All right. It's like the price action is going in a certain direction. Thing is, you don't know when to get in. If you just jump in, it can pull back and knock you out, that kind of thing. So here is what the actual, I'm not going to call it science, but the process is. All right. Let's start up here at the upper left. 3 or more red candles, then a green candle. You're going to look to short the trade. What does that mean? Red candles go down. So you got 3 red candles going down. Then you got a green candle. It goes up. Green goes up. Red goes down. Right? 3 red candles. Could be 4, could be 5. But if you can count to at least 3, you're there. 1, 2, 3 going down, 1 up. And then when you see that 1 up, you're looking to short the trade. Now, what does short mean? Short means you want to go down. You can trade when the market's going down or when the market's going up. But in this case, since the 3 initial candles or more, I call that the run. Since the run was red or going down, then you want to trade down, right? So when you get 3 down, 1 up, maybe 2 up, and then it may go sideways for a minute, but it is then followed by a red candle. So you had 3 down. Let's just assume it's just 1 candle or 1 reversal. 1, 2, 3 reds going down, 1 green going up, and then one more red going down. Okay, kind of visualize that. We're going to take a look at it in a minute. So you got 1 green going up. It's followed by a red candle that goes down and exceeds the green. Okay, you'll see what that means in a little bit. Or if you're going the other way, 3 or more green candles, then a red candle. So 3 going up green, 1 red going down. You look to go long when it is followed by a green candle going up that exceeds the red candle that initially went down. I know that sounds crazy. It sounds confusing. Look here what I'm talking about. Okay. Let me see if I can find it over here for you guys. Yeah, we'll see it right here. Right here. Can you see that? Right in this area here. I can use this. Okay. I'm going to create what might be a path about like that. Let's see. These are, that's about halfway. Do that. All right. So that's about 25 ticks, which is about the trade I like to make. So you see here we have we can do it here. 1, 2, 3 reds, 4 reds. A green goes up and a red goes down that exceeds the green. So you have 1, 2, 3, just like I told you, 3 or more going down, a reversal the red goes up. I'm sorry, the green goes up, and then the red continues. When the red line or the red candle closes below the green, you can enter the trade at that point. Okay, I'm gonna give you this too. Okay, so we got, I would have this here. Whenever these are going down and then that green line shows up or that green candle shows up and it turns up, I would put that green line right there. Okay, so because sometimes it won't go down this far, right? So when it goes down and reverses and then it comes down again, when that completes, whether it completes here or up or a little bit higher, I enter the trade. Where do I enter the trade? I'll give you an arrow for that right here. I enter the trade there. Does that make sense? Once I enter the trade, I can't change what I've done. It's stuck. And I'm going to show you how to set that up as well. Okay. But it takes time to get through this. So I'm not going to hurry. If this goes for an hour and a half, then it goes for an hour and a half. It is what it is. If you want to learn it, then you got to put in the time. If you don't put in the time, you try to rush it, you're going to lose money every time. You would think that since it only goes up and down, you can just jump in and make money. No, that will not work. It doesn't work that way. If it did, everybody'd do it. Anyhow, 3 up or more, or 3 down, a reversal, it continues. Boom, that's 25 ticks. Boom, you're in and out the trade. Now, you say, well, can you make any money at that, Steve? Well, absolutely you can. Let me show you this. And then we're going to get into it a little bit more. Not that. What I want to show you. Not that. Where did I put that? No, that's not it. Wait a minute, guys. I got to find something for you. Hold on 1 second. I could have sworn I had that out here. I did it in a spreadsheet. Here we go. I'm going to bring this over here because everybody wants to know about the money. Okay. Now, this is not some get rich quick scam. Okay. And I'm not here to make any money when you do this. You do it or you don't. It's your call. All right. So I just put this on a spreadsheet so that I can share it with you guys. I'm going to do that. I can't make it any bigger. If I did that, it might get either way. All right. Maybe you guys can spread the screen out or just do a screenshot and make it larger so you can see it once you crop it or something like that. Okay. I trade the micro. We're going to get back to the chart in a minute. I trade the micro market, right? With this on Ninja Trader, whenever you start to trade with real money, I suggest if you're new at this, you're 2, 3, 4 months out from doing anything other than learning and practicing. Okay, that's why I'll do this every week. You can start a cash account, a brokerage account, for as little as $500. Okay, and when you start that account, you can trade for as little as 50 cents per tick. If I could have started at a nickel or a penny, I would have done that too. Okay, I'm cheap that way. Okay, I mean, I'm not here to throw money at this thing. I'm here to build an account. Okay, and grow it over time. Now, 50 cents is how small you can start, and it grows by increments of 50 cents. And each time you grow by 50 cents, it's called adding a contract. So 1 contract is 50 cents. 2 contracts is $1. 3 contracts is $1.50, 4 contracts is $2, so forth and so on. All right, got that? And you can go all the way up to 100 contracts so that you're trading eventually at $50 per tick. Does that make sense? Okay, 100 contracts, $50. 1 contract, 50 cents. 2 contracts, $1. Okay, now, again, remember what I showed you. If I can pull that back up. Yeah. From here to here, that right angle, that's 25 ticks. I found that for a reason, and I'll probably share that with you guys here too. Okay. Or I chose that number for a reason. So 1 contract, 50 cents. You get 25 ticks for that. You earn a total of 50 cents times 25 is $12.50. You're going to have to pay a commission because you do have to pay to play in this game and any other game you play in life, right? That's $1.82, which means you're going to net $10.68. Now, if you do that 2 times a night, which is about what, you look to average. I know you're going to think I can do this 5, 6, 7 times a night, and sometimes you can, all right? But typically it's going to present to you a couple of opportunities per night. if the market is stingy. Assuming you never do more than that. People who are always clicking and clicking and clicking, trying to get in and get out of trades, they're generally losing money. Look for your entry, and we're going to talk about that going forward. Select that. That's all you need. You'll grow it over time. That night, if you chose to do this and you had 2 successful trades, then you made $21.36. Woohoo! You can go to McDonald's and get you a #1 with a large Coke or whatever. But leave the money there. I'm leaving the money there. Do what you want. Okay. If you did this with 2 contracts, obviously that's going to double. If you go up to 5 contracts, then you're going to be looking at $106.80 after you make 2 trades. A single trade is going to put you at $53.43. If you go up to 10 contracts down here, that's $5 per tick. 25 ticks is $125. You're going to pay roughly $18.20 for that. Yeah. So a single trade is going to be worth $106.80. Do that 2 times a night, and you're at $213.60. Eventually, you get on down here to maybe 20 contracts. That's $10 because 50 cents per contract at 20. It's going to be $10 per tick. 25 ticks will give you $250. You're going to pay roughly $36, more like about $36 for that. That's $213.60 for a single trade. Do that twice, and you're making $427 per night. That's going to put you at a couple $1,000s a week. And again, you can go all the way up to 100 contracts, and you can do the math for yourself. I'm not here to talk to you about money. I just want to show you this because I know everybody wants to know what the money is like. Okay, so if you want to, you can screenshot that, and you can go and figure out the math for yourself. And you can just do that, extrapolating that out from $1 to make it easy, because you're paying roughly $3.64 for a trade, and you can go all the way up to $50 with that. Just keep multiplying, and it'll work itself out. But again, I don't want us to get caught up with money, because if we don't get the process right, we got nothing. We got nothing, absolutely nothing. Well, you're going to have less than nothing, because you're going to lose your money. Now, this whole thing actually happened again. Okay, so look at this. You're in the trade. You won the trade in less than a minute, because you entered the trade here. It came down here, boom, popped you out. But it was going down. It went down again. Look at this. I'm going to move this out of the way. It moved down again. It continued to go down. It reversed and came up, and then it started to go down again. Look at that. And what happens? You would then enter when price action closes below the reversal candle, right? And we're going down here. We're going down here. Move that back up. Okay, so here you got 1, 2. You got to have at least 3, because you need momentum. 1 or 2 is not enough speed. Okay. 3, 4, reversal, and then a continuation down. So you have run, reversal, continuation. Continuation closes below, in this case, the reversal candle, and you take it down, all the way down to 25 ticks again. Now you might say, well, Steve, when you took the initial trade here, why didn't you just stay in the market and ride it all the way down to here? Because when you're trading this, it looks like this. Looks like that. You don't know what's coming next. Okay. You have no idea what's coming next, but you believe that you have momentum that's going to take you at least 25 ticks. Looking at it like this, you think, oh, that will be easy. Look, I'll do this and I'll do that. But that's all hindsight. And hindsight is 20/20. Well, it should be. I mean, it should be if you're looking at it right. But we can't live life with hindsight. We live life moving forward, right? And so we take the trade. We scalp. This is called scalping, by the way. Okay. It reverses. You get in again. Boom. And you ride it down. Get your 25 ticks. And boom. Didn't I just show you 2? I said if you got 2 a night. Now, this was at the close of day. If you look down here, 16:30. Okay. So we entered this trade, the first trade, at about 16:30, 25, something like that. So this is toward the end of the closing day. Over here, this is 5 o'clock. All right. So that's how that works. Okay. Now, you need some help with this. At least I did. Okay. So I'm going to show you what I used before we get going again. I told you we're going to use some of these things up here, right? Now, we have these candles here. I don't fool with these. Okay. Now you can space them out, make them wider or broader or whatever you want to do over here. I don't see any need to do that. Some people like a wider candle, and some people like more space between candles. That's fine. This is your drawing tools, right? Okay, so if you need to draw something like that, you can put something on the, if you need to do that kind of stuff. We don't need to go over that right now or why you would use that. I only use it to draw these right angles, okay, and to draw these lines that I use so I can mark my trade. And you'll see how I do that in just a moment. Let me just put that like that. Straighten that up. There we go. But I use it for that. Now, most of this stuff up here I don't use. I use this right here. This is I like to use the crosshairs. Some people like to use, just a cursor like that. I use crosshairs because it helps me to line things up as I'm looking around the screen. And what else do I want to show you guys? I use two indicators, guys. Actually, yeah, they're really two indicators. One is a counter, and the other one is an oscillator. So if I go here, this little up and down indicator thing, it'll pop up and say indicators. I'm going to choose two on here. As you can see, there's a bunch of them, okay? I only need two. I need the bar timer, okay? I'll show you what that is right now, okay? So we'll do that. We'll hit apply, and there it goes. Now down here at the bottom, there's going to be a counter. Every time a new candle starts, it's going to start counting down from 60. Now, and so that I can, let's say I'm back over here where we looked at that trade. Where was it? Here. Okay. I'm looking at this candle. It has already exceeded the entry that I need, which is below that green candle there. So now I'm looking because I want to enter at exactly 0 seconds. So I click on the number when it gets down to 1. I click on 1, boom, puts me in the trade like that. Okay. So that's why I use the bar counter, right? Or the bar timer. The other one I use is called an oscillator. It tells me when the market is likely to turn around. It's not 100%, but then no indicators are. Okay, no indicator in and of itself is going to tell you when you absolutely should enter a trade and that you're actually going to win the trade. Okay, none of them will. Okay. Sometimes people like to use 2 or 3 together to try to give them some indicator or indication as to when to enter a trade. Even that can fail. Okay. So what I have here, down here at the bottom now, what's on the page is something called, this is the RSI. RSI stands for Relative Strength Indicator. It tells me how strong the market is when it's going up and when it's going down. Okay. And if I do this, you see that yellow line that appears up here? That yellow one up here, that's called resistance. When it gets up here, it resists and then it pushes back. When it gets down here at the bottom, it resists and it pushes back up. And so it just oscillates between these two yellow lines. Now, what I do is I put an extreme line on here because sometimes I'll play with it, but mostly not, but sometimes I will. And I put it at, you look over here on the right, you'll see the number 75. I'll go up to 75 or get as close as I can. That's 74.95. That's good enough for government work. And then I'll come back down here to where it says 25. And thankfully the line's there so I can get right at it. Get there. There we go. 25.02. Can't get any better than that. I'm going to squinch that down just a little bit and close this out. Put it down here like that. Okay. So I put this all the way down here because now I can see when we're going up and when we're going down. And if you look at this, you'll see it came down here, it bounced off and went back up. Okay, it came down here again, bounced off and went back up. It came up here, bounced off and started going down and went down, down, down. And so it just oscillates between the two. Sometimes it'll go down there and it'll push, you're going to say, well, I can't take this trade because it's at the top and, it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And it just, it just stays up there and there's nothing you can do about it. Okay. But I don't have to worry about that because all I need is my 2 little trades. That's all. I get my 2 trades and I am done. I am not making a life of this. I'm making some money with it. That's it. So if I slide this all the way over here, you're going to see, let me get this up here where my price action is. we're going to get ready to get going, guys. I needed to go over that stuff with you guys because you need to have some understanding as to what I am doing. Oh, one other thing I got to show you. That is how to set up a trade, okay? So I'm going to, can I enter a trade now? Yeah, okay. When I hit buy, that means I'm going to take a trade up, okay? Means, okay, from this point right here, okay, because that's where the price action is right there. I want to buy and go up and make money. If it goes down, I'm going to lose money, right? I hit close. Now, what if I want to sell? I want to go down. I hit the sell button. So when we were looking at that before, we would have hit sell there and take it down for 25 ticks. Now let's make sure we're exactly 25 ticks now. I was close. Look at that. Pretty good, pretty darn close. I'm pretty good. Let's see. Let's do this again. Man, I am great. I'm excellent. Okay, there we go. Lines are kind of crooked, but there we go. Slide these down. Now, these little lines here that I'm putting on here, at the end of the day, they don't mean anything. They're not going to make you a fantastic trader. They're not going to make you a winner. The process makes you a winner. These just help me to see my trade as it's working itself out. Okay. Because otherwise, in order to see your trade like that, you'd have to be all the way over here. And I don't like my price action there. I like it in the middle of my screen, but that's just a preference that I have, and it's not going to matter to you. But anyway, let's get back to this. You can trade long to go up, or you can trade short to go down. So if I tell you I'm shorting right now, that means I'm trading to go down. If I tell you I'm going long, that means I want to go up. That's all that means. In this form of trading, you are not buying a stock. You are entering a position with the expectation that the market is going to go in a particular direction. That's all you're doing. Okay. And I do this at night because you see how volatile this is. I want volatility, but I don't want to trade during the day because why? Donald Trump might post something on Truth Social and cause the market to spike in a certain direction. Okay, and it could go like that. Or the Fed could come out and make an announcement and you're not aware of it, and the market could take off, tank, or it can go up either way, and you're not aware of it. Some people trade the news, like the non-farm job report. Something like that comes out, the market's going to take off and go one direction or another. I ain't got time to be looking at all that. I'm retired, okay? So I trade at night. When everybody's asleep, none of that's happening. I don't have to worry about that so much. I mean, doesn't mean it can't happen, okay? But it's a lot less likely to happen. Put it that way, okay? Now, how do you get this win-loss thing here? How do you get to click on and have this show up? Well, I'm glad you asked. Okay, we'll close that out. Over here on the right, you see over here where it says playback, because that's what we're in right now. We're playing back with one contract. You can increase that if you want for a particular entry. Or right now it's static. And right now we have a trade called test. If we click on the little doohickey there, you'll see a drop down. You see I have these contracts in here. We'll go to custom. And once we enter custom, now we can set up a trade strategy. And it's going to be based on whatever you want to do. I chose 25 to win, 25 to lose. Now, some people say that your loss should not be greater than half of your win. If I chose 12.5 ticks to lose, I would lose almost every trade. Almost every trade I would lose, because the market doesn't just go up smooth and then go down smooth. It goes like this on its way up, and it goes like this on its way down. Okay, it bounces back and forth on its way up. Okay, because people are entering trades and exiting trades and that kind of thing. A lot of things are happening. So let's say you want to get started, and let's say you want to make your math easy. So you'll go to order quantity, you'll go to 2, which is actually 50 cents times 2, or $1. But you're just practicing, okay? I would say when you start trading with live ammunition, start with 50 cents. Because if you can't win at 50 cents, you're going to lose your tail at $5, okay? If you can't make money with 50 cents, you can't make money with $1 either, okay? Increasing the size of your trade is not going to make you more money if you're already losing. So practice, practice, practice until you are dead blue in the face and you are darn sure how to enter a trade and when to enter a trade. Okay. Let's see. Now, The first thing we want to look at is our stop loss. So in this case, I'm choosing 25 because that's what I figured out after I looked at this for months and months and months and realized that, you know what, that's about as far back. Once it goes past that point, it ain't coming back. I mean, it will. I mean, sometimes it's gone back just enough to knock me out of the trade. And then it goes on to what would have been a winner. And life happens. We're going to profit 25 ticks. Now, I'm going to show you, maybe not in this episode, but in a future one, how to get more than 25 ticks on a trade and still protect your stop loss, or protect the initial 25 that you actually made, and then hopefully get more. Okay. So this is what this is called. All right. Custom strategy parameters. 2 contracts, 25 to lose, 25 to gain. Save as template, and we can name it, and we'll call this, we'll just call it test 2. We'll keep it simple because we got one test in there. Okay, so we'll call this test 2, and we'll say save, and we'll say okay. And now you see we have test 2 there, right? So now you can call it my trade this, or, whatever, right? But when I'm trading, I'm putting contract 1, contract 2, contract 10, right? Because that way I know what the value is of my trade based on the number of contracts. I don't need some fancy name. I keep things simple because I'm a simple guy and I don't want to complicate my life. It's been complicated enough over the past 65 years. So there you go. You got that in there. Again, we are in playback, right? Now, if we were trading, I'm going to show you something. If you're trading the market at night, and you just want to see what's going on, and if you can trade the real market, you can go down here to simulation, right? If you do that, well, it won't let me do that now, okay, because I got to get out of there. But you can go out here and you can trade the live market in simulation mode. It won't cost you anything. You're just messing around to see if you can make it work in real time. Or don't go to live until you've figured this thing out. Okay, just don't go live. Don't go live. Okay, you're 90 days out, minimum 90 days out from going live. All right. So anyway, let's get back over here. Let's see how we can practice this thing. So I've showed you guys that we are trading the micro, and we do that because it allows you to start trading with a small account. We showed you the time frames. We're trading 1 minute candles. Every minute we get a different candle, an additional candle. I showed you that I'm just putting these. I only put that green line in here to show me where I start, and just so we're all on the same page, I only trade for 1 hour or 2 hours. That's it. I go live my life after that. I'm not a day trader. I'm a night trader, and a short night trader at that. And so I start with the green line. I finish with the red line. I'm done at that point. Okay, that's all I'm doing. Now, put this here, and let's get ready to trade. How about we do that? Let's see what this market did last night. Okay, so these can go over here. They're out of the way. And what you'll do now, we have this at 7:01 and 20 seconds. So nothing's going to happen in a minute, 20 seconds. So if we were to click on this, then the market will begin to run. Okay, there we go. It begins to run. See that? This is what happened last night. Okay. Now, remember, you're trading reds and greens. These colors are just too busy for me. Okay, so I'm going to be honest. Let me pause this. I hate that. I just hate these colors. And it's just a problem that I have. It doesn't have to be a problem that you make for yourself. I like softer colors. And so for my down candles, I like Dodger blue. Where is it? There it is. And for my long candles or my up candles, I'll just make them white. Where is white? There it is. Apply. Perfect. Okay. Still the same thing. The concepts are the same. The colors are just different because for me, this is just easier for me to look at for 2 hours. Okay. So I will go back here. Now you can speed this up by clicking on this. Okay, so now we're running 3 seconds at a time. Now we're running 8 seconds at a time, and you'll see it just starts to speed up a little bit. Okay, and we'll just run this on out. Okay, I'm going to move this up to every 2 seconds. We're going to get a new candle. Right there it goes. Okay, now I did not take this trade. Okay, let's slow this down. I did not take this trade. Remember what I said? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3 or more. We got momentum to take the trade up. We'll bring our little green line up here so that we can see this thing. I'm going to tell you why I didn't take it in just a minute. Okay. Okay, so if the price action, if this closes out blue or red, if you don't change the colors, and then starts to go up again, I'm not taking this trade. Well, you might say, well, Steve, you just told me that if I have certain number of bars going in that direction, then a reversal, then a continuation, I can take it, right? Well, yeah, theoretically you can, but then go down here and look. We have an indicator down here for a reason. Remember I said when it gets up here, it's likely to turn around and go down. When it goes down to the bottom, looking at the RSI now, down here at the bottom, when it gets up to the top, it's likely to turn around and go back down. If it gets down here to the bottom, it's likely to turn around and go back up. That's why you have that there. Now, that doesn't mean that it will always do that. Okay, so if it does, and when it does, you just have to, just say, well, you know what? Didn't work out this time. It's just the way it goes. Let me stop something here. My bar timer isn't working. Hold on a minute. I'm going to remove that and put it back in, see if we can get it to work for us. There we go. Okay, you see that bar timer down here? It's counting down. See that down there? It's at 30 seconds now. So we're 30 seconds into this candle. And if I slow this down, we can run it at, I can run it at 3 seconds. So we'll get a new candle every 20 seconds. Okay. But you see, and it didn't close green, so or blue, so it doesn't matter. It just continued white and went on up, right? But now are we going to get a blue close here? Well, we'll see. And so that's why I only close for trade for 2 hours, because I got to sit here and look at this stupid screen for 2 hours. I don't want to be here for 5 hours, but some people do. My attention span can only last for 2 hours. Yours may be good for 4, 6, or 8, but that's just how it goes. But again, I'm not taking this trade. It did close blue, right? Or did close down, short, or whatever you want to call it. We'll speed it up a little bit. So we'll get a new candle every 10 seconds. 0, if you watch the, looking at this thing down here, we're counting down again. We're at 30. 6, didn't work out. I'm not looking at entering a trade anyway, because at this point, when it's up here like this, I go fix me a cup of coffee or a sandwich, get me something else, because it's up there too high. Okay, it's going to turn around, and it did. And so that saves us. Now, sometimes it will just give you one candle and then shoot straight on up. It did that later on in the evening. I didn't take it. Okay, now we got 2 candles, nothing. 2 candles is nothing. We got to have 3. We have to have 3. If we don't have 3, we don't have nothing, right? I'm going to speed it up just a little bit so we can hopefully get to something. Hopefully I won't miss it, because I don't remember how it went last night. Not offhand. I can play it when it's in real time. It's going a lot slower. Okay. And I'm just speeding this up for you guys. When you are training, when you are studying this for yourself, you're going to have to put in the time. Do not speed this up like I'm doing right now. I'm doing this just for illustration purposes only. Okay. Run it at real time, so that you get used to the pace of the market, so that you slow yourself down. Because here's the thing, I want to stop this, and it's very, very important that you get this, because if you don't get this, you won't get nothing. There are 2 things that you have to trade and be successful. One is discipline. You have to be able to sit there and look at this thing and not fade off. Or last night, my phone rang, or it alerted me, and I was counting down the bars to enter a trade. My phone is supposed to be off. So if you call me between 6 and 8 p.m., I'm not going to answer. I picked up my phone, right? I looked at it, and then I went, what am I doing? I looked back, and I had missed the trade entry. And for me, if I'm late entering a trade, I don't enter. Okay. I don't rush in, because you rush in, you're going to lose. There's a point at which you should enter, and that's done for a reason. Okay. So I did that. I wasn't concentrating, I wasn't disciplined, and it cost me, right? So look here, we got 1, 2, 3, right? And if you were to put this here, You might think, I can take this trade. Here's something. You see this little line right here? You might have to increase the size of your screen. You might have to pinch it out or something, or enlarge it somehow. You see that right there? That was a candle that never did anything. That's a no decision. And that's something that you have to look for. So if I get this 1, 2, 3, and then a no decision, I'm not looking to enter a trade. I don't have to. I only need 2 all night. I'm looking for the perfect setup. If it doesn't give me that, I don't need it. Okay. So we'll continue. So some people might say, you know what, I can take that because it did reverse. And then if it goes on up, I can hop in, right? Now, generally after about 6 candles, if it doesn't continue, I'm not looking to enter. And each one of these is a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't have, like, this is 5. That's 10. That's 10 candles. I'm not taking it. Now, if you had taken this, it would have gone ahead and won. Look at this. You would have taken it here and it won, right? But why do I not take that? Because it's going into resistance. I don't need it. I don't have to have that. I'll wait for a better setup. Now I'm going to speed this on through because we're coming up on the hour right now, and we're going to go ahead. I'm going to show you how the night ended. Okay. I'm going to move this up. Go on, go on, go on. There we go. Look at that. Ample opportunity to make money on the night. Okay. We can stop that now. Okay. So here's what you're looking at. Okay. So we don't take this because we're running into resistance down here. And we know it's going to turn around. We don't know when. Sometimes, sometimes it'll turn right around like it did before, like it did over here, right? Or sometimes it'll go a little bit further. Sometimes it'll just keep going. But we don't play. We don't play with money. Money is not a toy. Okay. It's a tool. So it goes up here and it exceeded, but we didn't take it, right? And it turned right around and came on back down. So what we're looking for now is something in the sweet spot between the yellows, right? So it came down, 1, 2, 3. It reversed and came right on back down. So now we're trading down again. Reversed up and came back down. If I put my green line right here, and it reverses and comes right on back down. It closes right here. And I enter. Bang. It closes below. And this was a long trade, guys. Okay. I entered the trade. Let's see. Get an arrow. Enter the trade right here. Boom. Because it closed below the reversal candle. So we have run, reverse, continuation. Just like here. Run, reverse, continuation. So we enter the trade here and we trade that down. How about that? Let's copy that. And let's paste. We'll make one here, put that here. Now this is our stop loss. Okay. So it never came back to knock us out of the trade. We're in the trade right there. See that? That's it. That's how the trade works. Okay. If you want to see how that goes, let's see, we can go back to 1948. Let's see if we can do that. That's 748, isn't it? 1746. All right. So we'll move this out of the way. We'll move this out of the way. If you want to see how it actually works in real time, okay? Darn it, it got rid of my things. Let me just do this. Sorry, guys. I forgot that it'll do that when I restart it. So if I put that here, okay, we're going to move this down and we'll start it all up again. Okay. So you'll see how this works. Okay. Remember, we've set up the trading strategy so that it will give us a 25 win, 25 loss, right? And let me show you again. You're looking at the bar timer down here. Okay, right now it's at 57 seconds and it's counting down on this white candle right here. It's white right now anyway. I'm going to slow this down so we get a proper entry and then we can speed it up once we enter the trade. All right. See if I can speed that up for you guys. Okay. All right. So here we go. We're at 42 seconds, 39. And we're moving at 3 seconds per second. So it's moving a little fast. But it's very important that you learn to set up your trade strategy so that you can get what you want. Darn it. I did that wrong. Darn it. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I had it set at 3 seconds and I didn't do something. But I want to show you something here. Okay, here's what I can do. I can select a sale to sell the market. And if it comes back up here, it'll put me in. All right. Will it let me do that? Will it let me do that? It won't let me do that. Oh, darn it. So I'm just going to have to wait. I'm going to slow this back down. So I should have been running at 1 second per second in the first place, but it didn't. But I wasn't. But it's going to go negative at some point because all trades do. All right. Because I will actually be in right about here. Okay. Come on. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and enter because, yeah, that didn't close below. I'm going to go ahead and enter right there. Okay. So we're going to put this here. And I might have to move this up just a little bit. I know the trade didn't lose, but I have to move that up a little bit because I'm entering there. I'm going to go ahead and put these paths in here so that you can see what the trade looks like as it continues. It's still running. We were up 250. Now we're down. And we're trading $1 on this one, okay? I did take this trade and I didn't lose, but since I'm running this, I was running fast. I was off there. So that's all you need right there. That little 25. And again, depending on whatever value you're trading it at, that's what you're going to win. Okay, we can get rid of this. Okay, to here. That's how far we want to go. We want to get down to this green line or this magenta purplish color line that I have here. And that's how the trade works. Now, we speed this up because this was a long trade. This trade lasted like 10, 12 minutes, right? And you can see it goes back and forth and back and forth. And it doesn't just come smooth down and give you the trade. I mean, sometimes it will, but most of the times it doesn't, right? Okay. So we speed this up to, there we go. That's too fast. There we go. And you can see that's how it works. That's how it works right there. Okay. It finally gets through. It finally comes on down and gives you the trade. It continues. Now, actually on this trade, if I'm being honest, I moved my take profit down to get a little bit, and I ended up down here on this trade. But if you don't move it, you get the win a lot sooner because it came down here. You see that little green divot? It gave me the win, and then it pulled back, and I went, oh no, no, and then it came on down, and I got the win. So, but yeah, that's how I ended up on that trade. But if you don't do that, if all you do is take the 25 ticks, you'll be fine. If all you ever do is take the 25 ticks, you'll be fine. 25, 25, 25, 25. Sometimes you're going to see that 2, 3, 4, 5 times a night, and you're going to be making 50, 75, or 100 ticks per night. That's how it works. And whether you're doing, again, 50 cents or $50, start low. Eventually, you'll get there. You'll see people out here trading, and they're talking about how they're making $1,000 or more a day. Absolutely. People are making that. No joke. People are making all that. And you can too. But here's the thing. You got to get there. You're not going to get there overnight. And so what I'll do is each week I will continue to show you how to make this very, very simple trade. As you can see, a bunch of indicators. I don't have that. I don't need them. The markets, I'm reading the candles, and the candles are talking to me. Again, if you haven't seen the video already, go back and look at, what do I call it? My retired expat side hustle. What I did, when I figured that when I saw this, I went back and I said, well, what would have happened if I'd done this in September or in October or November? And then I did it again in December in real time. So I had all of that data, and I'm looking and saying, this actually works. It's easier than everything else these people are talking about out here. And actually, if everybody did this, they would probably change the market. Somehow they would say, we can't let all these people do this. It's too easy. We need them to be fumbling around with all of these different MACDs and EMAs and SMAs and this and that and a third, Fibonacci and all that. No, you don't need all that. If you can just count to 3, 4, 5, okay, look for the reversal. When it comes down and exceeds that, take it for 25 ticks. That's all you do. That's all you do. And you don't have to trust me on this, okay? Go set up an account. Don't cost you nothing. Practice it for free for yourself. And I think everybody needs to do this, whether you're retired or working a regular job. Everybody's got to do something. If you're retired and and you're retired right now and your Social Security is 25% or more, certainly 30, 50% or higher of your retirement income, you need to be doing something because they're going to reduce that by like 25% in just about 5 years. So you don't have very much time. If you're working a regular job right now, okay, jobs are jobs now. That's all they are. There's no such thing anymore of careers for the overwhelming majority of the people. What I mean by that, if you're not making 160, 170 and rising per year, you probably just have a regular job. And it's probably going to be gone before too very long. At the rate they're going, the rate they're getting rid of the need for people, the need for workers. So learn to do something. And again, this isn't for everybody, but it's for more people than people think because they think that this is a gamble. This is just this is just play. Oh, I was going to show you guys something. So I was going to show you how the night ended. So let me just do that real quick. Let me fade this back over and let me speed this back up. I'm sorry, I meant to do that. We'll just put that on 1,000 and speed this up. There we go. That's good enough, right? Okay, so we had this one. Okay, I'm going to show you this one. And then let's see, let's copy and paste. Paste. There we go. We had another one here. Okay, I'll move this and shorten this one. Shorten this one, get it out of the way. I don't need that. This one was a win to here, right? Okay, and then we're going to copy this one too. And we're going to paste it. Give me a minute, guys. You're going to see, okay? Get this green line out of the way because we had a reversal. Look at this. We had 1, 2, 3 whites going up, right? A small reversal there, and then you can take this one from here. Boom, there you go. And then you got 1, 2, 3. Shorten this one, get it out of the way. And let's grab this. We had another one here. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse up, comes back down, exceeds the reversal candle, and you get in here. See that? All right. What else do we have? Let's see. That didn't make it. And if you took this, what would happen? Let's see. What do I need? I need to go long here. No, I didn't trade anymore. That was it. It was 12 o'clock. It was, get my vertical line. 7, there we go. That was the end of the night right there. Because by that time I had gotten my, my night in, somebody called and I went ahead and answered the phone. Okay. So that's the night. Okay. That's it. That was it. 3 trades. Like I said, you can there's 2 or 3 every night. Sometimes there's 4, 5, 6. Okay. But put the green line back here so you see what we're measuring from, right? You're measuring off of this, that little thing right there. Boom. It exceeded by a bunch. You took it up. Came down, pulled back, exceeded by a bunch. You took it down. That was it. Okay. If you missed this one and you just got these 2, it happened from 8:22 to you entered the next one at 8:35 and you were done by 8:41. That's how the night goes. That's how it goes. I wish I could make it more complicated. It would be a lot more satisfactory to a lot of people if it was more complicated than that, but it just isn't. It just isn't. So if you have questions about this, you should see my email run in the crawler below. So you can just email me at, what's it called? thegoodlifewithsteve@gmail.com. It's not running across there yet, but I'm sure it did at some point, but it runs on my, I know people had some people said that they couldn't find my email address on the YouTube homepage. So I now put it in the crawler so that you can find it. If you have questions about this, you can reach out to me there. You'll need to have WhatsApp if you don't have that in order for me to talk to you on the phone. And I'll be happy to do that for you guys. But I can't talk to you on regular, we're not making international calls, okay? Download WhatsApp. It's owned by Facebook, and I know all y'all got Facebook, right? So I don't, but Actually, I do, but I don't even look at it. I just open it up for down here, but I don't even use it. Oh, one person's found me. Um, Diane, I think is your name. Yeah. How you doing, girl? But yeah, so it's down there someplace. You can reach out to me, download WhatsApp, shoot me an email. We can trade phone numbers, and then I can talk to you that way if you have questions about this. Some of you, and one last thing before I go, I know I'm going long here. I'm over an hour now. Um, some of you had said to me, "Hey, listen, I want to get with you and talk to you and find out about moving over and blah da da. What do you cost for what do you charge for consultations? Charge anything for consultations. Why? Because I don't want your money. I don't want your money. I don't want your money. Okay? Keep your money. You got a family to feed. I got a family. I got a household to run. You got a household to run. We all got stuff going on. If we can't share information, then what good are we to each other? Every time you talk to me, you gotta cut me a check. Man, forget that. And besides, I don't want to complicate my life and feel beholden to you. If you need some information and I have it and I can share it, it's yours to have. If you want me to make money, that's fine. I appreciate that. Here, tell you what you can do. There is somebody who wants to give me money, and they've got more money than me and you and all the rest of us together. That's Google. Okay, let the commercials run. Okay, when the commercial comes up, go fix yourself a sandwich or go use the bathroom or find something else to do. The commercial's over. You sit down, you keep watching the video, and let them pay me. Okay, just let it end up. It ain't much, right? It's not like I'm going to put my kids through college with whatever Google's paying me, but at least that way you're not paying out any money. They've got plenty, so let them do it. And then we'll just ride out like that. But anyway, listen, this is my life. I'm making it a good one. I hope you are too, because we are all fearfully and wonderfully made in the image of the Creator, and He has given us this earth to live in it for ourselves. Thank you so much. That's all I got. Until next time, many blessings.